Good afternoon. Today is February the 12th, 2023 at 2:28 p.m. We're gonna discuss about a how this radical and Republican is being so extreme and impolite, and basically they are showing virtual reality. So like this picture right here, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and well, not she's not the only one. Also, there's Matt Gaetz. Also, there is Lori Boebert, and they all screaming like on top of the lung. It doesn't reflect or represent as a congresswoman, and also the way she dressed, like she's wearing a polar bear kind of a suit or cosplay. It seems like a cosplay, not a suit. Anyway, she doesn't look like the rest of the Republican over there, and she's the only one among those guys that scream. I guess in a way they also enjoy the acrobat in here. This happened when Biden giving a speech on State of the Union at the Congress. Reading Washington radical politics is not as simple as reading Trump behavioral tendency and speeches, although they are Trump insider people, but they have many major players with party strategies and showmanship and showgirlship who know how to use spotlight, but they have a similar rude and malicious intention that just to show the most extreme, uncalculated, irresponsible ridiculousness, as if they are in high school teen brawl or TikTok. So these are aged people. They're aging people. They're not kids, but they want to capture, seize the moment like the kids does, or they want to be like trendsetters. They want to show like a kid. So this new phenomenon that they choose politics for showmanship instead of reality show, and it was pioneered by Donald Trump or started by Trump when he's doing reality shows. We see it so extreme at one pole, which is very right wing, and patriotism or responsible courage is not the base to exercise any of each erratic political individual motive in the right wing action. So there's no patriotism in doing this. Basically disruption and chaos, or creating so much noise. Well, that's what Scream is. For the big family of the New Republican, they are like an exotic creature. Look, it's like an exotic creature. It's a polar bear cosplay. So it's like exotic creatures. And it's really attractive. That never touch real life for the regular people. So they went to an extreme, and not even any drug hillbillies attitude show like this. So it's more than all of that. So anything they say and do is more like trash talk or trash the institution, as we call it in Congress, if you like, or simply trash Republican Party, including the face of both. Um, well, the whole Republican Party will be trashed by she's trashing herself, and she also represents Georgia, where she was elected to be crazy and to be trashed. I wonder if Georgians are also doing like this. They love to do trash stuff. So this including the Irish, the face, this including the both face of the Irish descent of McCarthy and McConnell. Somehow this both Irish, somehow these Irishmen are not together. So we have three Irishmen in here: McCarthy, McConnell, and McBiden. I mean Joe Biden. They're all Irish, but they're not together. Most Irish are independent, I guess, and there is another independent Irish like Joe Biden. He's not being swayed with anybody, so uh, I'm gonna use a stereotyping comedic analog here to show the political ridiculousness of the Republican Party. So McCarthy and McConnell also tried so hard to humiliate Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden also Irish descent because the dad's also Irish. We know Hunter is not holding any office position, but they have no shame in bringing down Joe Biden using made-up story of Hunter Biden. Sounds just like Irish people at war among themselves, comedically. We can probably ask the most radical Republican of the, or the fraud Republican, as the old guard Republican call it. Unfortunately, most of them left. Whoever stays sometimes tried very rarely to resist and show dissatisfaction, like Mitt Romney, who could not stand George Sanders, as he literally disgusted by George Sanders' show of weird attitude in front of him. And this seems luckily worked and did not backfire because he tried at the George Sanders that has been cornered by all kind of fraud and scam and lies that he did to himself. So he was alienated and most unwanted right now. That's why Mitt Romney told him to get away and stay at the back. That way it doesn't make a scene. But what is the Republican Party that doesn't make a scene? So George Sanders wanna be at the forefront of the Republican Party, just like this screaming, yelling lady right here. According to old guard Republican, as I quoted from the Huffington Post, Marjorie Taylor Greene stand for many QAnon immoral theories, as old guard Republican call it, un-American things or unpatriotic. The now moderate Republican never want to show any rude behavior, as opposed by Marjorie Taylor Greene by yelling and heckling, ignoring the Congress ethical norm of objection and disagreement. She could always just stay silent, sit down, or a little boo, they'll be fine, but not heckling like on the street, on the road rage. For her kind, they just exercise freedom. That's what they think. Of scream and yell, just like when they were at her alma mater school. So I guess she was educated in this way in her alma mater school. This hypocritically was intolerable during Trump rally. So it was started and it was marketed by Donald Trump. And it can cause black eye and bruises and injury whenever Trump speak. If she scream, she's gonna have a black eye. But not with Joe Biden. So that's the difference between two parties, the Republican and Democrat. One is violent, one is not. So yelling at the president of the USA will be more frequent and meant to be normal by this group of people. So get ready to see it display because this one is the moment that, well, it was long ago when only Democrat did it, which is Obama. Somebody screamed liars. But again, no bruises, no black eye. So if the Republican president on stage, like in any Trump's rallies, they will get bruises. So we have a dual norm in the U.S. When it's Republican, it's not okay to yell, not okay to criticize. Maybe criticize okay, but not yell, because they're gonna get bruises and black eye. We can witness from Trump rallies when so many people got beaten up. So as soon as Republican with McCarthy as a speaker, we are now witnessing our tax dollar wasted on the superficial legislatures that are not at all pertaining to our everyday kitchen matter, like this, what they scream about, what she scream about. Luckily, everything is now normalized and under control by Joe Biden. According to his State of the Union report, or in another word, there is no urgent care matter anymore. Everything is been taken care of. The most list, the most list of unpopular legislators among most uh, most common voters, they love to bring them up as not common voters. She likes to bring up stuff for the non-common voters. That's what it is. And only appeal to the rich donors that want to watch them screaming. They want to watch them to disrupt the normalcy or the middle class side of agenda of the Democrat. That way, they can go back and concentrate on the rich, the filthy rich of American. So basically, they scream about sunsetting Social Security and Medicare, as we saw from Congressman Rick Scott or Mike Lee and everybody in that caucus, or eliminating Affordable Care Act. It's like keep repeating this agenda, and then weaponize government to persecute Republican, although it's backfire because Trump is the one that um, persecuting Democrat from Justice Department or DOJ, and social media, Twitter. Even they questioning Twitter or reminding Twitter that somebody called Donald Trump with obscene language, so Twitter need to take it down. That's how government was weaponized during Trump. Or IRS also used or weaponized by Trump to persecute people. And then another agenda that is popular also about anti-abortion for any case unborn nor rape case. They don't care if it's rape, if it's not, they're not allowed to abort the baby. Censoring cultures or forbidden book or black slavery or any race education is very favorite for them, a favorite object, I mean topic to bring about in the legislatures. Eliminating January 6th and forgetting the insurrection. That's also popular for them, but not for the voters, or maybe only the mega train, which is 30% of the voters, Trump diehard followers. And then they like also to bring about nude Hunter Biden video and laptop. They want it to be publicly available at Twitter's, but Twitter's against it. That's part of the weaponize of the government to persecute Twitters. Racist and Crazy Pizza Gate or insurrection invitation made available on all media. That's what they want. They want the media to contain all of this. They also like to scream about legalized assault weapon inside the Congress and elsewhere, including school. They also like to criminalize the immigrant and tie them up with fentanyl addiction. They also like to speak about crazy legislation about Jewish space lasers that burn California and other that are too weird, um, too crazy for regular people like us. And then crazy medical prescription by non-professionals such as ivermectin for COVID. Just outrageous, outlandish, crazy. Retaliation to all Democrats who reveal or investigate Trump and other wrongdoing by not giving them position in the Congressional Committee. And there's nothing about providing middle class a chance to excel or feel normal again. Those economic plan and agenda were brought down by Biden and Democrat on a silver tray at the State of the Union. As a matter of fact, they were not only planned, but actually they delivered those results, which is lowering medical drugs costs by negotiating prices with the pharmaceutical based on original cost and appropriate record profit for them. So they suppress the price, but allow the pharmaceuticals still making some record profit, but not too much, although it's already too much. Activate the Consumers Protection Bureau as it was developed by Elizabeth Warren to get rid of all the consumer fees, as they call it, junk fee protection in banking, hospital, or surprise sales hidden fee, transportation, um, freight monopoly trick fee, including airfare or excess baggage fee. This junk fee protection will help the middle class and lower lowering the inflation, limiting Medicare copay as badly needed by senior citizens, and this lowering the Medicare copay or no copay or lowering Medicare itself. I mean, lowering the insurance. That's what I mean. The insurance fee is really, really helpful for the middle class because this is recurring fee every month that come out from paycheck or come out from uh, auto debit. So when everything is lower, like the Medicare and the drug price is down, the price down means the government is the one that paying for the insurance for the baby boomers. That means lower. If it's lower, mean lowering the debt. I think he said mentioned about 800 billion uh, saving. So it's not cut on Medicare, but it's saving on Medicare. So that's the only different word is saving and cut. So it's not cutting the Medicare, but saving the Medicare 800 billion to lower the government debt. So that's the real government debt decrease. These are actually the old Republican goal to limit the debt ceiling, but that was just a goal or slogan only. It's only Democrat ever balanced the budget during Democratic government like Bill Clinton, and many more kitchen table topics that are important for average American compared to cultures and book censorship as a political campaign. This crazy loud screaming or yelling Republican still won the importance of screaming during congregation in the Capitol, as they still did not realize or never realize they have made a fool out of themselves, as they are still fighting hard over cultural issue, as they thought as the essence of regular Joe lives matters. So cultural war, according to those radical Republican, it's like what we need in everyday people life, which is big lie. I guess they're delusional. While actually the regular common American don't care if slavery or CRT was taught at school or not. Just like all kind of dictator authoritarian censoring law that ban slavery and LGBTQ that taught at school or not. So it it doesn't really affect on them or us, and beside showing appreciation of um, black people instead of hyping on the racists, it's more it's more worth it. Or slavery as a study, it doesn't give anybody guilt as a white people enslave black people. So beside being more, uh, yeah, beside being more heavily involved in private business, it's kind of fun for Republican governors by trying to regulate on how private business to conduct their business, like Walt Disney in Florida, Twitter in Congress right now ongoing, or social media, trying to impose restrictions which are not an issue at all to them actually, to regular Joe. They know if they talk bad, they're gonna be um, block the video. So they better make a good content, content that positive, content that thrashing other people or inciting an insurrection will be blocked automatically because the company does want to represent the crazy cult. So they thought these are just bunch of crazy talk that they had never imagined. What are those? Now, the Republican Party agenda is mainly focused on obvious mad and crazy about nothing. Is this nothingness is nothingness screaming louder. This nothingness is scream louder and making so much scene in Washington, all the way to Florida governor office every day, and from the Fox propaganda news to some to smaller news kind of Sinclair local news that Sinclair local propaganda news network. So let's ask ourselves, why are Republicans so busy over these? And part of the answer are they have no plan on how to actually run the government beside making noises, and are always thinking about the importance of nothingness. That way nobody will be held accountable for making a policy. So they don't have to make a policy as long as they're making noises. And we realize and wonder, why not start a simple, creative, purposeful issue that really matters to most middle class, so that way they can win the election next time. Another part of the answer is the Democrats are keep feeding this busy doing unimportant agenda as laid out by the Democrat strategies. So none of the Republican congressmen, nor senators, nor governor will disrupt the Democrat middle class rescue agenda. Don't they have a political strategist? Because they didn't realize they're being tricked, they're being played by the Democrat. Because the Democrat keep feeding them with this, and they just seem to get along with the Democrat plan to go crazy, so that they leave the Democrat alone to do all kind of middle class rescue plan, and even all the way to the deliveries of the plan, like build back better and all that. Or all of those strategies, Republican strategies have gone or fired by Donald Trump, because now they don't realize that's what they are in. So we suspect all of this cultural war hidden agenda is getting numb on racist behavior or discrimination remarks on LGBTQ and all racist remarks. Anyone should be socially punished for making nasty racist discrimination remarks, because they don't think these are really important, and they think that we should get numb, not feel anything. As they got caught a lot in the never-ending racist discrimination remarks. So on and on they got caught. Even Donald Trump did that. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene did that to Jewish community. Or the Holocaust survival. Or even the new one, George Sanders, is play using a Holocaust as his fraud campaign point. And beside to look so busy taking care of culture as to suppress the topic of the only party of insurrection. is they want to deny or bury this notion, and none will think of it. Or the next insurrection, the American will be surprised, as it has never happened before if they can kill it. So they have to make a lot of noises to balance the insurrection noises. So recently, despite of all crazy right-wing flavors of Republican, the old guard moderate has struggled so hard to move on, to pass the Trump mega train, which sounds so impossible. If you have to calculate it, if 30% of the voters are Trump diehard followers, or 60% of all Republican voters that are represented by this crazy radical faction like MTG, Lori Boebert, Matt Gaetz, etc. So, how do they move on? Like right now, they're talking about a lot of donors want to move away from Trump, but how if 30% of the voters are Trump diehard? Or 60% of the Republican, let's say 50-50, right? So 100% of it, it'll be 60% of the Republican. So if 60% wants Trump, no matter how they want somebody else, it will not move away from um, obsessing with Trump. Furthermore, are they really represent 100% of their constituents? Like this screaming attitude? Is it really represent 100% of their constituents? Does that mean they represent the crazy, delusional, radical screamers Republican in their district? So by looking at her screaming like this, that means all Georgian people are crazy and like to scream like hillbillies without any ethics and norms and how to congregate in the Congress. Does that mean they represent the crazy, delusional, radical screamers Republican in their district? That's a valid question. If not, it might be so just embarrassing and self-humiliation of how off these constituents can be. So their constituents um, that she represents is kind of bad to the bone. I mean, whoever elect her, so she won, they all like her because her name is Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. I always wonder, like, why would they take such a position? All right, thank you for watching, and catch you next week. We'll discuss more about politics next week. Thank you. Bye bye.